I am Dirty. Sitting across from me is the one, the only, my partner in crime,
Lynda. All right.
There you go. Look, I'm trying something new today, but it's not really working so well, is it?
Well, you know, whenever you're trying something new, sometimes it takes a minute.
Takes a minute.
You're getting there.
Are you kidding me?
I love the pictures with the camera shots. Awesome.
You like that?
Exactly.
You like
yeah,
that?
I need that camera. He's got this little bitty mini camera on a tripod, guys, that I'm like, I need that camera and that tripod for my Sunday brunch show that's going to be starting back up in September.
What?
September.
Sunday brunch? Is it coming to Ferguson?
No.
What?
It's going to a whole new network.
What?
Exactly. But I want to thank Ferguson USA Hot Talk Radio for giving me an opportunity to get back into the swing of things with podcasting, because I had kind of got away from it because I had a couple of deaths in the family and it, you know. But
you're leaving me?
I'm leaving you, boo. I'm leaving you.
We have a caller on.
We have a caller. All right.
I don't know what line this is.
Okay.
Here we go. Caller, you're live.
Oh, I'm live. What's going on, Dirty?
What's up, Vader?
You on the air?
Yeah, why? Are you on the air?
You're on the air.
You're live.
Oh, man. Well, how's everything going?
I don't know.
Wonderful.
Go on Facebook and look.
Hey, Arlington, I see you're
I got two cameras going tonight.
Right.
Oh, okay. Hey, one day in the group, y'all.
I know, but the computer's lagging, so I don't know how well it's going to look.
Okay, man.
Can you see it on Facebook?
I just got off. I didn't get a notification that you guys are on.
Yeah, we were having some technical difficulties. I brought my laptop in, and I forgot my power cord.
Oh, man.
Yeah, well, you know, Dirty's
you know, things happen, man. But,
Dirty's an idiot.
You know, the mission continues, man. I was just looking at this thing on Cardi B, man, and I wasn't happy about it.
Nah, I don't.
No.
Cardi B? Is that the thing
yeah.
where they're getting on her about her something she did on Wild 'N Out a couple years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I heard it on
they played the clip on the radio station.
Right.
Where they were making fun of, I think, Haitian women and Mexican women. And it was just horrible. Then she did one.
Oh, Martin Luther King.
Was Martin Luther King's wife.
Right.
Even though it was 3 years ago, but to the rest of the world right now, it's brand new footage. And to disrespect Dr. King's wife and what they meant to black people and coming up in the 60s like that, that's not funny. I can't give a person a pass.
Okay, so here's the question, though. So if you have somebody that
finished, Dirty, but go ahead.
Okay, but I'm just saying, if you have somebody that disrespects the culture, then why support them?
Well, I don't support anybody that rips up my people in any form or manner, even if it's another brother or sister ripping us up. There's some things and jokes out here that people are cracking at our expense. They're not funny, and some things we shouldn't laugh at and poke fun at. You know, everything is just not to be made out of a joke.
Right. I agree with you, because I was on my way to the station when I heard it on 95.5, my station that I only listen to. And when now the first one was kind of funny. You know, I'm not going to lie to you, because our community knows what a hoe bath is. Dirty. Do you know what a hoe bath is? Yeah. You do, really? Oh, okay. So a white boy that knows what a whole bath is. Okay. So that one was kind of funny. And to be honest, but here's the thing. I didn't find that one offensive. I really didn't. I really thought it was kind of funny. Now, the one with where she did Coretta Scott King. Now, I'm like you. There's some of our some of our heroes and sheroes that we don't exactly.
Martin Luther King
is one of them.
Malcolm X.
Yes.
They're two.
Yes, it's a couple of them
that you don't touch.
Right.
George Washington Carver is another one.
Right.
Jackie Robinson's another one.
Yeah.
People that actually made an influence and a positive change.
Right.
And not spreaded hate and all of that.
Right.
Those are the ones, you know, like, I don't respect Donald Trump. I don't respect the Ku Klux Klan.
Right.
I don't respect the Aryan Nation.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Right.
I don't support anybody that wants to spread hate within as a white person, I don't support them.
Right. And even if there's somebody of color that likes to spread hate, because we
can't support them.
well, right, because you don't always remember, we do have these gatekeepers, like our girl Omarosa.
Can't support her.
Let's talk about Omarosa. But here's the thing about Omarosa. Omarosa, I was never a fan. Okay, I'm gonna be real honest with you. But one thing about Omarosa, though, the girl is on her game. When she goes and does her interviews, she's articulate, she's poised, she knows exactly what she's saying. She checks the hell out of those other hosts that be trying to rush her. I absolutely like her style. I'm gonna be real honest with you. I also like the fact that she knew that since she was going to write this book and tell some of the things that were going on in the Trump administration, that she was going to have to do a CYA, which is a cover your patootie. All right. And so she taped everybody.
Right.
I love that. Did you guys see did you see Vader when they had her? I think she was on CNN. And so they were talking about this N-word tape that apparently was produced during the Apprentice season.
Right.
Okay, when she was on there, and also this black guy by the name of Kwame Jackson.
Right.
Okay, and apparently Kwame is the one that Trump used the N-word in reference to.
Yeah.
Okay, so they had there's two black Republican spokespeople for Trump that go on the about him. One is a Katrina Pearson, and another person is a Joanne or Jolene something, right, Lenny or whatever. And they're on there going, oh no, we never had that conversation with Omarosa about an N-word tape. I don't have no clue what she's talking about. Omarosa played the tape. And you can hear them say it. Is there an N-word tape? I don't know. We need to find out if there's an N-word tape. Exactly.
That's how it always is. You're in the spotlight.
No. CYA. You have to cover your butt.
Say something.
Exactly. So you go, Omarosa. I have to give you a Shiro point for today. I don't think she is. She, as a matter of fact, you know what I call her amongst my family and friends? I call her the master apprentice.
She supported Trump.
Yeah, she wanted to see what she, just like she said. She said, listen, absolutely, because she said, listen, I grew up, my dad was killed when I was like 8 years old.
True, she did.
Her and her parents, her and her mother and brother, they really struggled. She said, I just wanted to have a good life. Now, I think all of us can relate to that, right? It's always not what you do, it's how you do it. Exactly. So we might not like the way that she executed her plans to do what she did, but you got to give her props that she trumped Trump.
That's true. All right, Vader, you got anything else?
Well, you used to have some people on the scene, but they might not be like on the same scale as a Dr. King.
Wait. There's nobody in today.
That's what I'm saying, Dirty.
Okay, go on. Let me do what you're gonna say.
Stop interrupting our guest, Dirty.
Some people rip up Al Sharp. I think some good that Al tries to do, and I disagree with him on some things, but I think in today's time, I think Al do try to do whatever he could, can to help the people, especially when there's trouble.
I agree with you 100%. I'm up Sunday morning at 7 o'clock to catch him on Political Nation.
Hey, you guys, best Lynda.
Thank you.
One of the greats in the game, and one of my mentors that showed me how to work the camera and conduct myself on the television set. So right on, and all the best to you. You're one of the greats.
Thank you. I do appreciate that, Verder. You take care of yourself, okay?
Hey, Dirty, be good, man. I'm out of here like a fountain.
Never be
See
good.
y'all later.
All right, bye-bye.
Here's how I look at it.
Okay.
There's not one good politically black leader today.
That's not true.
Name some for me.
Al Sharpton.
See,
that's because now let me premise this.
Okay.
I was not a fan when Al first came on the pressed hair, the permed hair, and the big, I was not a fan.
Right.
But one thing that I like about him is that he evolved. You have to admit that he's evolved.
He
has evolved to the point where he's now he has his own television show with MSNBC.
Yeah.
And he's very respected because when he came here to Ferguson with some of the Mike Brown stuff, now, of course, there's going to be some notoriety with anything that you do when there's something going on. But I hate to say we are lacking good black leaders.
That's what I'm saying.
I do think that Sharpton is one. Who do you think the other one is?
There is one.
Okay.
And he just won.
Okay.
just won something.
Who?
Here in St. Louis County.
Oh, that would be, well, always, before I say that, and you know that's my heart, I have a lot of respect for him, but I can't say that until he gets in there and I see what he does.
Okay, I can say this.
Okay.
I can say this. From what I've met of this man,
okay,
that the conversations that we've had with this man, he's going to be one of the great black leaders.
I think so.
He's going to be one of those leaders that's going to bridge the gaps.
Okay.
Between all of the culture.
I really hope you're right. Now, you know I love we're talking about Wesley Bell, in case, because you guys know he's been on at Ferguson USA High Talk Radio at least 3 times. Okay, so we're huge fans, big time. Fans. Okay.
I mean, he did name the One Nation.
He did, and
he changed the name.
He changed our name, and we fell in love with it, right?
He's called me the PD.
Yep, you got your own nickname.
I got my own nickname from the prosecuting
right.
attorney.
And I'm with him 100%. And we're going to put this out there that if there's anything that he ever needs to get out when we regroup, and we're going to tell you about that in just a minute. And we're here to get his message out, because you and I have talked dirty about how he's kind of being maligned in the press. Ooh. Because you white people are really upset that y'all look. He kind of caught you with your pants down, and he was not taken seriously, and then boo y'all.
He was the white guy that when he came in said, "That's the next St. Louis prosecuting attorney right there."
You did say that, absolutely.
So like
he really likes to say that. I actually said that, Lynda.
That's what I'm saying.
What you failed to realize, though, sweetheart, you had him. By the time you and I talked to Wesley, that was our second interview, because I did him on Sunday Brunch. When I talked to this man on Sunday on my Sunday Brunch show, he impressed me so much. I was like, "You've got my vote."
You were campaigning?
Absolutely. Oh, I wasn't I? Absolutely.
I didn't even live in St. Louis.
Right.
And I was campaigning.
Yes, you were. Absolutely.
I know for a fact I had at least 50 white people go and vote for him.
Exactly. Now, here's what's funny. Let's talk about when you first met him, because I don't know if I mentioned to him that we're one nation and we're two different generations. So when he came in and met you, I don't know if you saw the look on his face, like, oh.
I thought he was kind of, no,
Did you see that?
He was kind of shocked.
I know, right?
It's like, oh wait, it's a white guy.
It's a white guy.
And then when I started asking him,
right,
white people would answer.
Absolutely.
You know they're not going to. Here's the thing. And
right.
This is what I love about white people.
Okay.
This is what I love about white people. Behind closed doors, we're totally different.
Right.
We'll say anything and everything, right? But when we're sitting across from somebody of a different color, different race, and different nationality, we're all like, "Hey, how are you today? It's very nice to meet you."
We're politically correct at that point.
We stick what's called a stick up our ass, and we squeeze our butt cheeks, and we get all tight, going, "Yes, hey, how are you today? You know, it's a very nice to meet you, young man," and all that, you know.
Right.
And I was asking Wesley the questions that people were thinking behind their doors.
Absolutely.
Going, hey,
yep.
You're a strong black man
right.
that could possibly get me in power. What are you going to do to protect me? Because in their minds, white people are thinking all black people are criminals.
Oh, yeah.
What are you going to do to protect me from the criminals?
Right. And with that being said, and he answered your question big time. Absolutely.
He goes, it's 2018. Something message that we preach. It's 2018.
We're all in this together.
We have to come together as one.
Exactly.
And we have to sit down at the table.
Right.
And we have to say, what do we need to do?
Exactly.
To repair this.
Right. Now, Dirty and I have talked. We talk almost like every day, just a couple times a day, and we talked about the fact that we've been listening and reading accounts about Wesley since he won the nomination, and it's a little disturbing how the masses or the people that are in power are
faint. Does that sound better? See.
Why are you interrupting me when I'm saying my little thingy?
I'm sorry.
That's a dirty thing, okay?
Yeah, I got these people.
Right, but I'm just saying. So one of the things that we want to do in September is see if we can reach out to Wesley and get him back on the show and talk to him about some of the things that have been said about him and his lack of experience. And one thing I'm going to tell you guys about Wesley Bell, and he pretty much is going to be the same advice that I gave you today. If there's nothing that you can do about it, if you have no control over somebody's thoughts or actions, let it go. You know what I'm saying? And keep it
you're
moving.
right.
Absolutely. And I have a feeling that's what he's going to do. He's going to take in consideration some of the things that they're saying, but he's going to keep it moving. You know, I really believe that.
agree with you.
Absolutely.
Right. Oh, so we got a nice little.
We do, don't we?
We got a nice thing. Okay, so it says. Okay, well, let's go with Juan.
Okay. You're gonna have to read. I can't see.
You know Juan. He's always He's always up to something.
Okay, let's see what Juan's talking about.
Al Sharpton is all about the money, and yeah, you're right. Al Sharpton is all about the money.
I'm not even gonna comment on that, Juan. Next.
Okay. Tim says I like the 2 camera shots. Juan says Al Sharpton is a piece of poo-poo, no better than Don King. So then Tim goes.
Big difference between him and Don King.
Right. So then
Don King is a promoter, so he's definitely for the money. Al probably started out. This is what I mean when I say I think he's evolved. He probably started out with that, but now I think he's in a place where I'm really here trying to help people. So we'll agree to disagree on that as usual, Juan.
Says Dirty's mic sounds like a fainted guitar.
Who's that?
That's Seabiscuit. He's an idiot. Don't listen to Seabiscuit. He's a moron. So here goes. It says, so what are the white ones, Juan? They don't shine the light on the white injustice on the people, on our people, like police shooting unnamed black men.
Say what now?
It says, so are the white ones.
So are the white ones what?
That's what it says. So are the white ones, Juan. They don't shine the light on the white injustice on our people. Like,
that's from Vader.
Shooting unnamed black people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's really look at that. Let's look at that one there for a fact. You turn the TV on, what do you see all the time?
Black people in criminal activities, no matter their standing in the community, their intellect, in nothing. It's always negative.
It's always a negative.
Negative.
Always a negative.
Right.
And again, it goes back to what I've said. It's the media message out there.
Absolutely.
To keep us divided.
Absolutely.
As one.
Absolutely. And you know, that's why when Trump came out with that whole fake news thing, I think a lot of African Americans were probably thinking like I was. Well, we might not call it fake news, but we'll definitely call it unbiased and
just call a spade a spade. It's bullshit.
Unfair
news.
is unfair and it's biased.
It's unfair and
very
it's
totally unbalanced.
So,
exactly. Right. See, and this is why it's so important that people have, if you have something to say, you have to listen to different podcasts.
Right. Yeah.
Because you can't go with the mainstream media.
There's a guy that we both like that we're trying to get.
Dennis
Dixon.
The big guy that's on YouTube.
Yeah,
exactly.
Great
right.
dude. We've sent out.
Exactly.
I've talked to him.
Right.
He's just really busy.
Yeah.
Wanting to come on their show.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of told him to watch our show to see what it was like.
Okay.
And stuff like that.
Yeah. I really like him.
Yeah. He's great. And
yes,
here's the problem is, I'm not going to say 99% of all white people like we normally do.
Right.
Okay. Because while I was at Wesley's event,
his watch party,
his
winning watch party, I
saw a lot of people like me.
Right. As a matter of fact, his spokeswoman is who we're trying to get on the show.
Great woman.
Yeah, she's white. Absolutely. And see, Wesley realized, because we're in a very polarized environment here and also the world, that you have to use everybody. Now, do you think his campaign would have been totally successful like that if he was all black?
I don't know, because the man spoke so well.
Didn't he? I know.
The man spoke so well.
And the sad thing is, you know, the reason why we interviewed him 3 times is because nobody else would give him airspace.
No, after he won the election.
And so we're sitting in there because he, of course, you know, he had allowed us to come in, and only ones there,
which
and
to me was an honor.
Absolutely,
to be the only one there.
Absolutely.
To go through the whole thing, to watch the process.
Absolutely.
With him.
We actually interviewed him again.
We did.
While he was there.
That were there.
Right. He was very nervous, wasn't he?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I know. It was so great.
Him, like, we were standing over at Acapulco.
Right.
I was like, why don't you come over? I'm like, look, dude, do your thing.
Right.
Why don't you come over, sit down, talk to me and Lynda.
Right.
We'll just take your mind off of things.
Exactly. And he did come over kind of chill.
He's like, all right, Dirty. He goes, that'll work. So he gets down, he gets over there, and he's all nervous. And you could see he's not. And you could see he's trying to act like he's not.
Right.
I was like, you're nervous. He's like, no. I'm like, why don't I just I'll just cut the tension in the eyes. And I said something goofy, and then he started laughing.
Right.
And that was it. And then he just relaxed.
Exactly.
It was the Wesley Bell that came in here.
Exactly.
The Wesley Bell that came on your show. The Wesley Bell that came on our show. And then he was just the Wesley Bell.
Exactly.
I was out there talking to the people.
Now here's another thing too, and I just want to get this out there. It's so important that we were able to help this young man do what it is that he needed to do. When now I left the watch party, unfortunately, about 10-ish. Okay. Of course, Dirty stayed over there, right? And he told me that he had a chance to meet Wesley's mom, because we were looking for her earlier to try to do a brief interview, but she was kind of tied up and we didn't want to disturb her. So tell our listening audience what she said when you introduced yourself to her. Now,
I walked over to Wesley's mom. I said, Mrs. Bell, I said, I just want to introduce myself. I said, my name is, I told her my real name, and and then I told her I'm Dirty. She goes, Dirty. She goes, oh, Dirty, where's your partner?
See?
I go, my partner. She goes, Lynda from the One Nation Under a Groove. I'm like, oh, she just had to leave. She's like, she goes, I'm a very big fan of your guys'. Thank you for
my goodness.
Stuff. And I just wanted to, I said, I just wanted you to know you raised a very good young man.
Yes.
I was like, he's going to do a lot of good things.
Yes.
And I said, I'm gonna be voting for him when he goes to run for governor of Missouri.
There you go. Because we're looking at him for president in maybe 2026, 2028.
All right, so here we got a conversation going on here right now.
All right.
Okay.
All
right.
right.
So it says, Juan, everything in this world is about race. Juan says, no, it's not. Another guy says, yeah, it is.
Okay, you know what? That leads us to our first story.
There you go. Right?
Absolutely.
All right, so segue that in there?
You did.
All right,
okay.
go for
He's
it.
learning really well,
Watch
guys.
This. You ready? Watch
okay.
this.
Oh, okay, you gonna pull it up?
Watch this. No,
Okay.
I can't.
Okay.
It's on the slow computer.
All right. So what are you gonna
Watch
do?
this, because you're gonna get ready to read, right?
Exactly.
Watch this.
Okay. All right.
It's all you.
It's all me. Okay, I got the spotlight. All right. So, I sent Jace a couple of Dirty, a couple of articles that we wanted to talk about on the show. And so I came across this, America to Me. Okay, here we go. I'm like, you super slow. Shows why all the black kids sit together in the cafeteria. Okay. Now, I don't know if you guys ever had this conversation with, even at work, where they go, why is it that whenever we have an event, all the black employees sit together and all the white employees sit together? Very seldom do you see intermingling of the two. Am I right or wrong?
I agree.
Exactly. And definitely. So apparently they were seeing this at the school. All right. So I'm going to read this article by Soraya Nadia McDonald. And you can reach her at Soraya, Soraya McDonald, McDonald. And this was on August the 26th. So she says a new 10-part documentary series from Starz. So if you guys have Starz, you can actually watch this. Has found a way to answer an old question about integrated schools. Why are all the black kids sitting together in the cafeteria? Now, Juan works for the school district, right?
Correct.
All right, so I really want you to listen to this, Juan. All right, America to Me may take its name from the Langston Hughes poem, Let America Be America Again, but its ethos comes from the 1997 book by Beverly Daniel Tatum, Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria? And other conversations about race. The series the series begins airing Sunday night on Starz. In the series, director, creator, and executive producer Steve James of Hoop Dreams, I don't know if you guys saw that, he provides a deeply reported look at Oak Park and River Forest High School, a well-funded public school of about 3,700 students. Oak Park and River Forest is integrated and is home not just to white students, 55%, and black students, 27%, but a significant population of kids from multiracial and multi-ethnic backgrounds. It is situated in an enclave of liberalism from just outside Chicago. If ever there was a high school that should double as a melting pot, it's Oak Park and River Forest, because look at the diversity, right? But as viewers of America to Me soon find, the school is dealing with some serious clumps in its fondue. I love that. Through through interviews with students, parents, administrators, and coaches, James slowly unpeels the ramifications of a colorblind approach to education in which almost no one talks about race. So they're not talking about race where they need to talk about it. In her book, Tatum explains how race becomes more of a factor for children of color, especially Black children, as they get older. They lose the assumption of innocence that might have shielded them from race-based slights when they were younger. And I think Lewis and I kind of talked about that when we had my friend Lewis Kincaid on. Remember? We talked about when we were growing up, we didn't have to really deal with it. But once we got into the workforce, you're talking about money. So yeah, it's dog eat dog, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So by following the lives of real high school students, James shows how easy it is to disturb illusions of an idealized setting. This is a school that has segregated itself internally. Most of the teaching staff is white. Now listen to this. While the security guards are predominantly Black, the cheer squad is nearly all Black, the drill team is nearly all white. There's a long-standing achievement gap between white students and Black ones that the school has failed to narrow, let alone close. Oak Park, this school is scary. Charles Donaldson, one of the series' most magnetic student characters, tells the camera, you talk to who you don't have to try with. Okay. Yep. Donaldson has lost patience with trying to talk to his white counterparts about race, so much so that he walks the halls between classes with his headphones over his ears and his music turned up loud. Instead, he expresses himself through poetry in the school's spoken word club. When the series begins, school administrators are wrestling with the issue of a Black Lives Matter assembly that was closed to white students so that students of color could speak openly and without fear. The decision drew complaints of reverse racism. America, to me, holds up a particularly compelling mirror to American race relations by examining multiple generations. James provides an answer to the cafeteria question by showing how kids learn attitudes about race from their parents. And we've always said that, right? The security guards reveal, and remember, most of the security guards are Black, right? The security guards reveal that white students will occasionally tell them that they work for them. An assertion one guard says she constantly hears from the white parents. So apparently the white kids and the white parents are comfortable enough to tell the security guards, hey, you work for me. Okay, now continuing. In one heartbreaking scene, now listen to this, American literature teacher Jessica Stovall, who is biracial, reveals that a white student called her the N-word when she directed him to stop referring to another student with an epithet for homosexual. When she brought the student to school administrators, he received a slap on the wrist. Administrators contend that they couldn't prove the student knew Stovall's race because she was out of his line of vision when she yelled at him. Stovall has few allies on the issue of race amongst her fellow teachers and finds that it's her Black students who actually share her anger and her horror at what they're witnessing. Chala Holland, the school vice principal, is Black. She tells James that Oak Park and River Forest has levels of diversity, but in terms of being progressive, not so much. She ends up taking a job at another school, in part, she says, because this school is wedded to a white culture norms. Okay, so they don't want to change their culture.
Right.
Stovall tries to change the culture of Oak Park and River Forest. She even goes on a sabbatical to New Zealand to learn how schools there bridge a similar achievement gap between white and indigenous students. But when she returns, she finds little support from administrators for implementing what she's learned. Stovall persists, though, incorporating discussions of race and police violence into her curriculum. She uses a mock emergency room setting to illustrate the difference between equality and equity. In Stovall's demonstration, equality is treating a person with a broken limb the same as a person with a headache by giving them both ibuprofen. Equity, says Stovall, is treating both patients to ensure that they have similar health outcomes. Okay? When it comes to biracial students, James shows how parents silence. Oh, now, this is where we have an issue in the Black community. When it comes to biracial students, James shows how parents' silence on racism can be especially harmful. In one episode, Stovall returns home to Wisconsin to visit her parents.
Yes.
Wisconsin is the whitest state in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
it is.
So Stovall's mother, now listen to this. Now, her mother is white and her father is black because she's biracial, right?
Yep.
I see this so much. You know, my family, you've met my family.
Yeah.
My family is all mixed. We've got everybody in our family. Okay. But a very diverse family. But we run into this. Okay. So her mother is white and her father is black. Stovall's mother prefers not to discuss racism and wishes everyone would simply see each other as people. Now, when I read that, Dirty, I thought about you. We'll discuss that later.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stovall can't really discuss the racism she faced growing up in Wisconsin because it's too painful for her mother. Now that's a freaking cop out. Okay.
Oh, I agree.
Your daughter needs help.
Right.
And you prefer to put your head in the sand and pretend that it doesn't exist.
Exactly.
So that's a whole nother. Okay. Anyway, for all the seriousness of its subject matter, America to Me is an immense pleasure to watch as students make their way through the hallmarks of high schools like homecoming. The students are impressively astute when it comes to articulating how the adults are failing them. One can only hope the adults are listening. So again, it's called America to Me, and it's on Stars this week.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
So
any comments up there?
Juan being a peckerhead saying the article's too long.
Whatever.
But see, that's what I mean. Yeah. Was it a long article? Sure. But we're not going to sit there.
But was it informative?
Well, yeah. We're not going to sit there and sugarcoat.
Hey, Juan.
And cut stuff out.
Right. Did it tell you some things that maybe addresses some of the issues that you see with some of your children of color that you deal with in your classroom? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Not saying that it's you, but it could be something.
And
that
here
they're
it is.
dealing
Let's
with.
go back to it.
Okay, come on.
Let's go to it. Right.
All right. Go ahead. Come on.
Okay. You said that the majority of the school was 55% white, correct?
Let me go back to that and pull that back up.
I'm almost positive that's what you said.
I probably did.
55%
One nation.
white.
All right.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Here it is. Again, it goes back to you have these people.
Come on.
You have these people who are sitting there telling their kids that they're better than everybody else.
Exactly.
Because that's the bullshit that they teach their kids.
And even the black adults, the security guards.
Yeah.
The white students are telling the security guards, "Hey, you work for me." So what do you think about that, Juan? You guys have that issue where
he said he watched the show. He said, but the article had lost him.
How?
Well, it's Juan. He don't have a very long attention span.
And he's a teacher.
I know.
That's not really That's not really encouraging.
No, I do want to say this.
But we love you, Juan.
Hold on. I do want to say this.
Come on.
A big shout out to Juan. Juan's going through some stuff.
Yeah.
Juan lost his grandfather,
Right.
who was his father figure. So, Juan, to you, much love from One Nation.
Absolutely. I give Juan grief, but I definitely want him to be a part of our new.
Yeah, and definitely, much love from the Ferguson.
And here's why. Because you know what? I don't want you to always agree with me, and Juan never agrees with me. So that gives us an opportunity to discuss this without going whatever. You know what I'm saying? Even though I go whatever.
We have a caller.
Oh, we have a
Go ahead.
caller.
You're live.
What's up?
Oh, dude, call my phone because we can't hear you on the phone.
Yeah, apparently there's something wrong with our
terrible.
call-in line. So just go ahead.
Yeah.
Give him your number.
I got it.
Oh, I can hear him a little bit.
Wait, go ahead. You there?
What? Yeah.
Yeah, you still can't hear me.
Yeah, it's really sad.
It's ridiculous. Hold on, let me try this.
Yeah, I can hear you guys clear as can be.
Can you?
There we go. Hold
Okay.
on.
Yeah.
It's not as loud, but I can hear him.
You want me to call
I think
your
you just
phone?
turned me up.
Yeah, call my phone, dog.
Is that one?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So, any more comments up there about the Lynda?
Well, Scott says he wants you.
What is Wesley? What is Vader saying up there? Lynda about Wesley.
Lynda had Wesley Bell on Sunday brunch. Had her on the Sunday brunch and then the One Nation Under a Groove show.
Right. So we've actually been told Juan gets on. We've actually had talked to Wesley 3 times. So they were scrambling to kind of catch up with us after he won. It was amazing to sit there and watch all the news cameras crews coming in trying to get him, and we're like, we've already talked to him. You know what I'm saying? We'll just talk to him once he's actually St. Louis County prosecuting attorney.
Hello, Ron.
Hey, Juan, how you doing, sweetheart?
I'm doing all right.
Sorry to hear about your grandfather.
I appreciate it.
Not a problem. Okay, I enjoy giving you grief on this show, and I think you enjoy giving me grief, and definitely want you to continue. But talk to me. So you said you actually seen the show?
I did. I was, I've seen previews for it, and it was finally on Sunday, and it really intrigued me coming from the school that I'm from, being a very diverse school. I mean, my high school that I teach at is the most diverse school in the entire state of Missouri.
My son went there.
And, I think that this show touches on quite a few issues that I see on a daily basis. But I don't really know what could be done to fix these issues if the teachers there aren't on board.
Right, and the administrators. You're absolutely correct.
And the administrators. And one thing that I found interesting is the administration did not want this show to be filmed at their school.
Really?
Whoa. Wow.
Whoa.
See, wow, yeah. That's probably why they didn't, because, they just mentioned the school. They don't even tell you where it's located. Do they mention that on the show?
Yeah, Oak Park, Illinois.
It's Illinois, okay.
Wow.
Right.
The administrators didn't want the show filmed.
Oh, right.
I think, no, it wasn't all of them. I want to say that it was the school board did not want it. And, I mean, for obvious reasons. I mean, I can understand where they're coming from. But also, I think that there's no doubt that the school's getting a pretty decent kickback for letting stars film their.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But what did you think about? What did you think about what the kids are saying as far as not feeling like they have a voice?
That's a shame. Because, one thing we really do at Rittner is we want our students to know that they have a voice. And we want them to not be afraid to speak up if they have an issue with something. I mean, that's just part of growing up. You learn to do that.
But where do we lose that, though? Where a point in a kid's life where they lose that feeling that they should speak up? Where do we lose that at? And where do we, and really, like, what age does it really start that a kid starts to see people for a skin color and a race? With you being in the education, when do you start seeing it?
Oh, I think you see it from probably the early teen years, probably 11, 12, 13. Because I can tell you that we go to elementary schools and we DJ their dances, and the black and white kids play together and nothing. But then you go up to the high school, and just like in the show, a lot of the lunch tables are very segregated.
Yep.
And, and some of that is the students are just comfortable being among their own race.
Absolutely.
Not that they have a problem with each other.
Right.
We have very little racial problems at Rittner.
Okay.
And if there are, we're not, I'm certainly not aware of them. But
okay.
I have to speak on my behalf. I have not witnessed any racial issues. We have more, issues amongst just guys and girls fighting each other.
Yeah, which is crazy. Right.
All teenage crap.
Yeah, exactly. So, but let me ask you this: what about the administrators? Because in this show, even the administrators weren't really on board with what the people were trying to do. So at Rittner, when you guys go to your teachers' lounges, are the black teachers sitting together and the white teachers at a different area? Do you guys sit together? How does that work?
I can honestly tell you that I am in my classroom pretty much all day long, so I don't get out and about a lot. But when we're in meetings, we all sit together. There's no segregation amongst the faculty.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, you have your cliques. You have
sure. Oh, we lost him. Can you hear him? We can't hear you, Juan.
There you go. Go ahead.
Okay.
There is no segregation when it comes to color whatsoever amongst the staff.
Wow. I find that, okay, can I tell you, you guys have come a long way. My son went to Rittner He was at Ridner for the Wyland Elementary, Ridner Middle, and then up until his sophomore year at the high school. They had some serious issues then. My son in the 6th grade got jumped by 6 black guys because he had white friends. Right. I get a call. I'm at work. I told him, I said, I will own Ridner. He is under your supervision. You're responsible. If anything happens to my son, you're going to pay for it. Right. That's just a mommy thing.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I have never heard of any racial issues at the school. Now, we've had some issues with a few students who are Trump supporters.
Okay.
And, you know, they're kind of, you know, it's probably like you have a couple that like to wear their Make America Great Again hats, and which is totally within their right.
Absolutely, they have the right to do that.
You know.
Yep.
I said you have a right to disagree with them, but you have the right to disagree with them respectfully.
Exactly.
And that's one thing that I talk about a lot in my classes. You know, we have to learn how to get along as people.
Right.
And you know, I try to make that a point in my class. Because we do have a lot of real-world discussion in my classes that relates to the media and things going on.
Well, yeah, because of what your job is there at the school, what you have, what you do. So, yeah.
And what do you do there, Juan?
I'm a media convergence teacher. So I work in the media area with our radio station and TV station. So I run 2 intro to media classes, 2 radio classes, and 2 yearbook classes.
Wonderful. Okay. So you are really right in there with the students on a regular basis, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean I think it's important for them to, you know, and our newspaper is great with this. Is they make sure to get a point of view from not just every gender, but every race and you know sexual orientation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's important.
Right. Especially at that age.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. I mean, because listen, at that age, you know, 15, 16, 17, 18, you start to come into the person that you're going to become.
Exactly.
Right.
And it's important for these kids to realize that, you know, especially at Ridner, they're getting kind of a taste of what the real world's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas where I went to high school over in Illinois, at Columbia, Illinois, it was like an episode of Saved by the Bell. I mean, we were white as can be. And, you know, I tell my students this. I never attended class with a black student until I got to college.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I even in sports, I had never played against a non-white athlete, you know, my entire career.
Are you serious?
That is crazy.
That is. In Illinois? What part of Illinois, if you don't mind?
Columbia.
10 minutes from South County.
Okay. Yeah, Columbia, Illinois.
So
wow. Well, it's not a lot over there.
Yeah. The school that you work in, are you seeing that change between the whites and the black kids where they're starting to come together more as one? Or are you still seeing that divide? Are you seeing those kids talking about those discussions respectfully and properly to say, how can we change it for the future?
Yeah, we're definitely seeing an open discussion. I mean, when I came on there 4 years ago, right after the whole Mike Brown thing went down.
Okay.
And the one thing our media department really pushed was the whole, you know, racial inequality and addressing that. And we really wanted to focus on, you know, racial injustice and, you know, things like that.
Right.
And we, you know, my group along with another group there called the Game Changers have really worked hard at keeping that line of communication between students open.
Great.
And I think we've done a very good job. Now, obviously, there's still work to be done.
Sure.
But there's always going to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, we have these kids for 8 hours a day or 7 hours a day, and then after that, what they do, you know, we can't control. But, you know, I see it as they leave school. Most of them, you know, most of the black kids leave school together. Most of the white kids leave school together.
Exactly. Can I ask you a question? with the Parkland kids, with the shooting in Florida, and they all came together and they took on the. I know, right? What did your kids say about that? Did they even discuss that? Did they have a platform to discuss that? And did it try to mobilize them to try to think about things that they like to get together and work on?
I will be completely honest with you, and this is one thing that shocked me. Our white students wanted to discuss it.
Okay.
And they wanted to talk about school safety.
Okay.
A lot of our black students, and I'm not going to say all, but a good majority that we spoke with honestly acted like they could care less because and their reasoning was, no one reports about us getting shot. Why should we care about some white kid getting shot?
Ooh.
I mean, they got a point.
They do.
They got a good point.
You know what? Because in the inner city schools, they started putting what do you call them? Those metal detectors.
What they did is they started to make them a prison.
Absolutely, they're a prison because they've got metal detectors and all kind of stuff. So that's really why you don't hear about school shootings in the inner city, because they've always had.
It's sad because I read an article about this on the DCS show. Because here's the sad thing is if there's a beef within the inner city schools,
right?
Instead of settling it in school,
right,
they're gonna go shoot each other and kill each other
outside. Absolutely,
that's the sad thing.
Right.
That's the sad thing.
But hold on, it's sad, and hold on for a minute, Juan. Because I want to make a point that's kind of weird and crazy, but it's the truth. When it's black kids going after somebody, it's usually somebody that they're definitely targeting. They're not going to shoot up everybody in the school.
Yeah, they're just going to hurt that one person.
Exactly.
I mean, is it right?
It's not at all. None of it's right. Absolutely right. But I understand. Okay, so
people, we don't care.
Right. So what was your response? Okay, so I'm sure that did shock you. And so how did you guys respond to that from the black students?
My whole take here, and I kind of looked at it like I wanted to hear what they were saying, and because that's the thing, our society is messed up in the fact that we focus too much on the aftermath.
Right.
We are not proactive.
Exactly.
Rather than trying to come up with a way to stop it, because listen, you're not going to stop it.
Yeah.
If a kid wants to shoot up a school, it's going to happen.
Exactly. Like the little guy did in Jacksonville.
To listen.
He lost a video game.
A video game.
Did you just hear what he said?
Yeah, he's right.
To listen to our kids.
And you know what? That's one thing that we want to do this season. We're going to get out to the schools, Juan, and we really want you to help us with this. And we want to get out there and start doing programs with these kids at the school so that they can have a voice and teach them how to set up an internet radio station for the school.
Well, that's what Juan does.
That's what Juan does.
All right, Juan, before you go, anything else you want to say?
No, I mean, I just heard you guys were going to be talking about the show, so I wanted to tune in to hear what you guys thought about it, because I mean, I watched it and I kind of started a little bit slow.
Okay.
So you're saying stick with it.
Yeah, you got to stick with it.
Absolutely.
And being an educator, I found it extremely interesting because they don't just focus on race. They focus on students with IEPs and learning disabilities.
Right.
And they focus on students who come from one-parent home. And, you know, they look at the number of students who have, successful grades, how they come from, a majority of them come from two-parent homes rather than one. And that is a big problem, especially in the African-American community. Is a lot of these kids don't have both parents.
Exactly.
They're lucky if they have one.
Exactly.
And right there, they're already, having a strike against them.
Exactly.
And, so that's one thing that I try to talk to my kids about too is, don't let your, family life or your surroundings dictate the person you become.
Exactly.
Just because you may not have immediate family, you still have teachers who you can consider your family.
Absolutely. It takes a village.
A lot of these kids need to hear is, we're not just there to teach them a subject or to teach them a lesson. We're there to help them along in life as well.
Exactly.
And that's why I enjoy being at the high school level the most, is because that's
when you can have the greatest impact.
Exactly. Well, I think honestly, and I'm not just shooting this up your butt. I think that Ridner is very lucky to have you, and again, I look forward to actually meeting you in person and working with you with One Nation Network STL. Okay.
So this is. I'm gonna say goodbye to the Trump supporter. He's a major Trump supporter. Juan is. You still...
No, I am not.
Yes, you are, dude.
He is so bad, isn't he?
I did not vote for Trump.
Before we let you go, Juan, what did you think about Trump coming against Google and social media? Did you hear that today?
You know,
this is right up his alley.
Right. That's why I asked.
He wants to eliminate all media, and it's a shame that he is targeting the media because, I mean, he is turning less intelligent people against the media.
And they need all the help they can get.
Even if they are getting wrong information.
Well, they got to stay off of Fox News, number one. But anyway, right.
Well, they're getting their information from Facebook and Twitter, which is some of the worst places you can get it.
I think they're getting most of their information from Fox News. You don't think a lot of that's coming from Fox? Because even Trump's getting information from Fox News. When he tweeted that about the South African, did you see that? He actually tweeted that about South Africa and then hashtagged it to Tucker Carlson and Fox News. Yeah. It's like, this man.
All right, brother.
Right. And on that note, okay, Juan, thanks for calling in, sweetie. All right. Have a good evening. All right.
It's hotter than a well digger's you know what in here.
It is like
pouring buckets.
Seriously. Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Hey, he looks like he's having one of my power surges or my hot flashes over here. So with that being said, we're going to just shut this down in 1 hour. So we have a major announcement.
We do.
And we're excited, but we're also a little sad.
There's been certain things that me and you have talked about. Certain things that we want to do with the One Nation.
Right.
And we've
didn't even realize until we met Jay and we did our first show together, the Bill Cosby thing, and then we started talking, and then we realized that we actually had the exact same vision for our future. What we wanted to do, we wanted to expand on what we're already doing,
into like TV,
exactly,
stuff like that.
We're interested in making this show, our One Nation Network, and our whole network actually a reality show.
That, and not just that, but a whole multimedia platform.
Exactly.
We want it based here in St. Louis, but we want it to bridge into the West Coast, the East Coast, the Northeast, the Southeast, Canada, Germany, France. We wanted to because we got to realize here is one, because if you look at any other country outside of the United States, the diversity isn't really there as it is here in the United States.
Exactly.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's still a little bit of hate.
Oh, sure.
There's still a little bit of people where they're diverse. Okay. But I would say 75% of all other countries, they accept each other for who they are as people.
Well, no, yeah, because after this, the latest with these immigrants coming in now,
that's here in America.
Oh, just no. I'm talking no, even the immigrant situation around the world.
It's Muslims because we want to preach Muslims as bad people.
But it's not all Muslims though. There's a clan of people called the Rohingyas in up in where the Buddhists are. Myanmar.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Buddhists that you would think that are there taking a vow of silence to be in touch with the Most High or a higher creator, and they're killing people left and right because they don't like them because they're people of color.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, so, it's really sad.
But compared to the United States of America,
75 way too high. Oh yeah,
65,
maybe 50.
No,
or 40 or 30.
It can't be worse than America.
It's getting there, dirty. It really is.
If you look in Europe, if you look in England, they all love each other.
No, they don't.
They're all drunk half the time.
No, honey. What are you watching? What do you
see? I don't see any hatred.
Check out? I love. You know what I like? Al Jazeera stream. Exactly.
Hatred in Al Jazeera. It's all hate about the United America.
No, are you serious?
Well, and then it's people with the terrorism and all that stuff.
It is so many. It's so many immigrants that are being. People are just like over in Canada. Canada, which used to be the most.
Where's Joey at? Where's Joey at when we need
exactly.
him?
You know, Canada used to be the most welcoming country in the world. Now, even they're turning their backs on the immigrants. But what people fail to realize is we're the ones that turn these people into immigrants. We destabilize their countries,
exactly.
And like all the Iraqis. It's ridiculous. You know,
exactly.
It's ridiculous.
Exactly. But again, let's go back to it. It's to the media,
right?
Where it's just showing the negativity,
right?
Like Al Jazeera, I don't see a whole lot of negativity on there. I see real world problems on there. Is what I see on there.
See, and this is why we do the show, because we're looking at it from different perspectives. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, but you don't see like you see here in the United States.
I do. I see it even worse.
You think?
Oh yeah.
I think about how they say, you know. I don't know. I might have to go back. You know.
Yeah. Even Australia, a country that I've always wanted to visit. I wouldn't. You couldn't pay me to go there now.
You know to be honest with you, though, I really can't stand watching the news anymore.
I understand, but but you have to do alternative sources, like alternative facts.
And I do.
And exactly.
Do a lot of stuff
online.
You know, I do a lot of stuff online and stuff like that. I'll get different stories, stuff you'll send me, and then I'll do the research.
Right.
Stories.
It can be very depressing, but you you can't let it get you down. You know what I'm saying? Just like I was telling you earlier, you do what you can, and let go of the stuff that you can't do anything about. Right.
So here we go. Vader's saying, ask the Palestinians who are opposing them.
Exactly.
Well, that's the Jews that are opposing them.
The Jews that are over there that are the fake Jews. And if you don't believe me, read Revelation 2:19 and 3:19. Okay, those are fake Jews. Those are Khazars. Those are not
always. They've always
Khazars
repressed over there.
Oh yeah, but no. Before the people came in from the Caucasus Mountains, which are the people that are over there, the Palestinians lived a wonderful life over there. Did you go back and see if you can go back to like before the 60s? Look at the 40s and 50s. They had really just had the country was beautiful over there, and they have just basically killed most of those people over there. Ethnic cleansing is what you hear a lot of on the internationally. Ethnic cleansing. That's what they do.
You notice the majority of them, what religion they mostly are too.
It's not even really about a religion anymore. It's more about You
notice what religion?
Yeah, Muslim.
Right.
But you know what? But here's the thing. Who in the hell made us judge and jury about who's good and who's bad?
Thank you.
You see what I'm saying? That's the problem that I'm having with all this. And here's another thing.
Thank you.
Right. And I talk about this on my Sunday brunch show where I don't have to really kind of justify a lot of stuff dirty. But here's a lot of what you have to realize is these people were doing wonderfully until we had people like we came into Iraq. Yeah. I was watching something last night where they were talking about all the beautiful stuff in the Iraqi museum and how as soon as we got over there, the soldiers went and they were told that they were not supposed to go in there and touch any of the They went in there and stole all that stuff.
Well, and because one of the gas stations I go to is owned by a Muslim guy.
Okay.
Super nice dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice dude.
Right.
And he says it constantly.
Right.
He goes, you got these ISIS idiots and you got the Al-Qaeda guys and all that. They're giving all Muslims a bad name.
Do you know what ISIS stands for?
I can't remember.
Israeli, is it the International State of Israel?
No.
Yes. No.
Here, I'm gonna pull
that ISIS is actually Israel. As a matter of fact, Google this while you're doing something. Go to Google and pull up John McCain with ISIS. There's a picture of John McCain with ISIS.
There it is. Islamic State of Iraq and Syria.
Islamic State of it's actually
an Islamic State of Iraq and Syria.
That's what they try to call it, but it's actually those are Israeli people. Okay.
No, they're
Mossad. The Mossad.
No,
it is.
They're all Persians.
Okay.
They're all the Persians.
See, this is why we do our show.
They're all
Okay.
Persians.
They're not.
They are.
They're not. They're Israelis.
No, they're not.
They are.
Nope.
All right, watch.
Okay, pull it up.
Okay, and so since you hear this, this is us all the time, right? We're
What are you doing?
who is that?
I don't know. That was
Right.
you.
It wasn't.
Wasn't me.
We're going to be talking about our conspiracy theories because we like aliens, we like
Oh,
all kind of
yeah.
stuff, right? But check this out. Okay, let me pull it up because I think I really.
What are you doing?
I don't know
over
what's
there?
going over here.
It ain't all white people all over the world trying to take over.
No,
What are you doing?
all right. Is Hamas really no? ISIS is a U.S. Israeli creation.
Well,
Exactly.
it's a creation. Yeah, that
Because it's
we're gonna talk about that because that comes
Okay.
into our conspiracies. Because I will
absolutely.
tell you when ISIS was started. What are you doing?
I don't know. I'm.
Close all your apps. Close all of them.
You sound like my grandson.
Jesus.
Grammy, close all your apps.
Jesus over there.
See, look, I closed out my apps and it's still going on.
No,
It's
it don't.
this.
Go
What
hit
is
this
this?
button right here.
Okay,
Hit this side. See this button right here?
right
Hit the
here.
little window button.
Okay,
Okay. Now hit close
close
all.
all. Okay,
And that closes all those apps. Now
Okay.
if you hit it again, guess what?
nothing there. Okay, cool.
ISIS was created by the United States and Israel.
ISIS
It was.
is Israel, honey.
No.
You know what? At this point, we'll agree to disagree.
I'm telling
But
you.
when you find out that I'm right, that's a
No.
steak dinner.
Steak
Dirty will
dinner.
owe me a steak dinner. Okay.
Hold on. When? Watch. Was. Because ISIS formed in 1999.
ISIS formed 1999.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And what was formed for, the group that founded it,
Now, where you getting that information from? Because you got to
this
be
one, hold on.
okay.
This one is from the History Channel. Hold on.
Do you
Okay,
know everybody?
okay.
Most
I'll
people.
go to a news source that you like.
Okay. Where you going?
CNN.
Oh, I don't do CNN.
Mhm.
Just go to Google. Did you pull it up on Google?
Yeah, right here.
Okay, and that's the only one you find. Keep
Yeah.
scrolling. Keep scrolling. But listen, we're getting ready to get out of here because this is like I've lost like 10 pounds sitting in here. It's like
oh my God.
I know, right? It's like a
I
sweat
got, I
box.
got sweat in an area
I don't even want to
that
know
I'm
about.
going to be
Okay.
sloppy when I
Oh
get
my
out.
God. I don't even want to know about.
Look.
Okay, so we
You-
were in the midst of telling us about our big announcement
Yeah,
and we got
me
sidetracked.
Going off on a damn conspiracy theory about ISIS. I'm telling you, there's a really
Right.
good thing on History Channel. I'm telling
Don't believe the History Channel, guys. A lot of that stuff is just seriously. I've
Really?
actually talked. Oh yeah, I listened to a guy by the name Tom Horn. He's been on the History Channel before. Him and his guy that unfortunately passed away. They refuse to go back on there because they say the History Channel takes their segments and then
Well,
they of course get in there
That's
and they
anything.
Absolutely.
No,
so
come
yeah, you
on.
just have to dig a little deeper. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah.
But ISIS
If I
was-
find that information, I'll definitely
actually,
send it to
ISIS,
you.
And here's what formed ISIS. Because ISIS
Okay.
is just the forming of Al Qaeda.
That's all bullshit, boo.
Okay.
That's all set up by
Okay.
the Bush administration
No,
and
no.
the
You
Israelis
wanna know why?
to
Right here.
start all this because what they're trying to do
Right
is
here.
get to divide us against the Muslims. So that way they're dividing the blacks and whites, they're dividing the Muslims.
Hold on.
It's to do all that so that they can just basically kill all of us.
Well, according to President Trump, Barack Obama
Oh my God.
is
We
a
talking
member
about
of- was a
member of ISIS. Okay. See where you get your news information from? On that note, I'm out.
This is from CNN. Hold on, I want to show you the man.
Hey, come on, Jerry. Let's go.
All right, real
Listen.
quick.
All right.
That guy right there.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? I can't ever really say it. It's that dude. That's Osama bin Laden's Osama bin Laden's second-hand man.
Do you remember the war between Iraq and
Persian
Iran?
Yeah.
Okay. Did
We
you know?
gave Iraq all the weapons.
Thank you. And who was part of Iraq at that time? Osama bin Laden.
Well, you got to remember. Okay, yeah.
Exactly. We'll talk about this
actually goes
where?
back to 1979.
We're going to talk about this when, Dirty?
We're gonna talk
on
about this
our
on September
11th.
is the One Nation Network STL. We are
Moving.
The show is moving.
Yeah.
Ferguson's not moving.
Right. Ferguson is here.
Ferguson is staying.
Dirty and I have some things that we want to do. The station's just really not big enough.
Yeah.
And we're going to expand where we're going to be doing all kind of music venues,
Yeah,
plays,
you'll still be hearing me over here on
my book
Ferguson.
signings.
Yeah, you'll still be hearing me over here on Ferguson.
Yep.
I'm not leaving Ferguson.
Exactly.
It's just One Nation Network. is leaving
Exactly.
Ferguson. because we've gotten bigger than really where we wanted to be.
Exactly.
Because we did.
Right.
There's a lot of things that we want planned.
Right.
And yeah.
Yeah.
So it's nothing against anybody here.
Oh, not at all. This I told Vader, who actually brought me on board because he used to work on my TV show back in the 90s. I had a What's New in Real Estate show on TCI Cable, and then he brought me in to work the camera on their soap opera that they were doing, the Speakeasy. Right. So I do Tim West. I thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I had went through a very bad time last year. I have had death in the families that just kind of really, so I kind of stopped broadcasting. This brought me back. So now my juices are going. I'm ready. I'm on a weight loss plan. I'm ready to look good for the TV.
I'm back down to 219.
You back down to 219?
Yeah, I gained some weight.
I thought you had, but I just didn't want to say anything, Dirty. I didn't want to say anything.
I only went up to 222.
No, you're looking good.
Jesus. This is One Nation Under the Groove. I am Dirty. Sitting across from me is the one, the only
Lynda.
And we will see you guys
September 11th at One Nation Network STL at the Medici Entertainment Center, Media Center. Absolutely.
Go to the page and like it. One Nation Network.
Absolutely. Out, guys. Take care.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
It's been real. Bye-bye. All right. Let's get out.